Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at the newly released Nepheton 2 from D16. Nepheton 1 has been out for quite a while now, and it has for many people been the default 808 plugin. And just like Drummers on 2, D16 have decided now is the time to refresh it, and once again they've knocked it out of the park. The first thing to note is obviously the massive GUI improvement. So when you put them side by side, you can instantly see just how much of an improvement Nepheton 2 is over 1 in terms of the presentation. In terms of the updates, the improvements are quite similar to the approach that they took with Drummers on 2, and I'll go through those now. So just like Drummers on, the plugin is essentially split into two halves. The top half is the synthesizer or drum modeling section, and then the bottom half is the sequencer section. In the middle, however, are the effects slots, which are new to 2, and that really opens up a whole nother dimension of this plugin. There are two buses, as you can see, to the left bus 1 and then to the right bus 2, to which you can send any of these drum sounds. In terms of the layout of the sounds themselves, I think it's much more logical the way it's been structured. For example, they've grouped the snare and clap together, which to me makes a lot more sense. And they've also added a dedicated laser gun. And a laser is really just a high-pitched version of the kick, so let's have a listen to that just in isolation. It's maybe not something that you use every day, but certainly adds a different flavor. If we then click on strips, this is really where the plugin starts to come to life, in my view. Each sound then has a dedicated channel strip. So to the far left, you have the standard controls that we saw on the previous page, on the synth page. Then we have EQ functions to the right of that, so high cut, low cut, and then more detailed EQ in the middle. Moving on to a compressor to the right, and then to the right of that again, we have the effects section. So we can send the output as an insert to the master, to bus 1 or to bus 2, or we can send it as a send effect to bus 1 or bus 2 to the right here. And then clicking on master, we have, as its name would imply, the master output section, which features a multi-band compressor going into a limiter with a soft clip function at the end of that. So as you would imagine, by the time it gets to this stage, after running it through the individual channel strips and then to the master, there's quite a lot of opportunity for sound sculpting, far beyond what version 1 did, and far beyond any 808 plugin that I'm aware of. Now obviously you can do this with external plugins, but it's such a faff compared to having it all self-contained in the one unit like this. And not only that, they sound absolutely fantastic, each one of these effects. So let's have a little play. This is my default patch. I just have it opening on init as well as a 4/4 kick. So let's play this back. Nothing special. Let's go to the strips. Let's send it to bus 1. Turn on the distortion. Turn the preamp up. Let's now add a bit of EQ to that. Let's now put a basic snare on 2 and 4. Let's click on snare up here. Let's send this one to, let's send it to bus send 2. I would like some reverb on this, but you can see that reverb is in slot or in bus A. So let's click on that. Now we can move that by clicking this button at the top here. And now we have swapped chorus with reverb. Let's now move reverb to the end, like so, but just by dragging it across. Turn it on. And then in the amount, we can dial up to send level. There's also the option if we click on more, we get access to quite a few more parameters that aren't visible in the little summary view. So reverb, for example, we can now see the split between early and late reflections, where we can adjust the color and the modulation of each of those. Whereas if we go to filter, it opens up the detail list again, and here we have stereo spread, which isn't visible in the summary view here. And then dynamics, if we open up that one, we now have access to the sidechain parameter, and so on and so forth. Each of the effects has a lot more detail should you click on the more button. So now if we look at the preset section, click on up here, the browser has been updated in a very similar fashion to a lot of recent D16 plugins, which means that it's much cleaner, and it also allows various tagging functions, as you can see down to the left here, which is a handy lead-in, because if I now press the little heart icon here, these are my favorite presets of the bunch. There are, if I unclick it for a sec, there are quite a few. There's probably a couple hundred here, all of which sound excellent, but the ones that I've identified here are my pick of the bunch. So let's have a listen. Init, obviously, is just init. I just have that there for convenience purposes. Let's start with Air Crash. Play this one back. Alpha Fold. That sounds amazing. I love that reverb. Proper warehouse days. Instantly, I'm back in the mid-90s now. Probably my favorite. And I can't quite place it. Is it a Jeff Mills or a Richie Hawtin? Can't quite place. Maybe one of the Orange tracks? That one is just amazing. Could listen to that all day. So there you have it, a superb update to what was an already fantastic plugin, but this just takes it to a whole nother level. As always, definitely go check out the demo, and then if you already have Nepheton 1, I'm sure you already realize just how much of a great sounding plugin it is. Plus these updates now add a workflow to it that is unrivaled in my opinion. And obviously I've barely only touched the surface of what it's capable of. So as always, download the demo, have a play for yourself, and make sure you have your credit card ready, because I'm sure you'll need it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.